Hello everyone, welcome back to my how-tos, and today I'm going to show you how to set up the straight bar curls on the BowFlex. First things first though, I'm going to go ahead and start out with some stretching, and then we'll move on to the setup, and then we're going to go ahead and head on to the proper breathing, improper form, proper form, and then we're going to go ahead and move from there. From that point, we're going to move on to the muscle groups, and then we're going to move on to our injuries. Alright, let's get stretching. Alright, we're on to our stretches, you guys. First stretch I'm going to do is going to stretch my wrist on the bottom and a little bit of the top. Just hold that for about 10 seconds. And then switch over to the left side. Again, hold it for about 10 seconds. Alright, and then we're going to reverse that. Be careful for guys like me who have bigger forearms, so just be careful how far you pull that back. But that's going to stretch the top of your wrist and a little bit of the bottom. And you want to hold that just for slightly less, about 8 seconds, and then switch over. And next stretch, I'm going to take my hands behind my back like so, and this is going to stretch your back, your shoulders, your triceps, and your biceps. Show it from the side, show it from the front, and then the other side, and release. Alright, good with our stretching. Let's get to the setup. Alright everyone, before we start the setup, I just want to include that this is specifically for this machine setup. So any other different machine, it's probably going to be a different setup than mine. I just wanted to say that before I started. Alright, let's go ahead and get this started. So, I got my straight bar, and got my bench, my slider. So first things first, I'm going to go ahead and put my slider on. Let it clip in if it wants to. There it goes. And then slide this front part straight on to here, just like so. Keep it flat, and then your next step, and take a straight bar, put it straight right here, right in front of it. I like to sit down just because I get to see where everything's at. Clip that on. Flip the other side on. And now your weight. Take your hook. Choose your weight that you want to lift. Put that hook straight through your circle on the rod. Through the hook part, the hook holder, whatever you want to call it. And then other side again. Alright. And there we go. Alright, so the next part, how you get into this position, you gotta come up behind the straight bar like so. I like to use my knees to help me out just a little bit. And then you're there. Good to go. Alright, so first thing I'm going to do is proper breathing. I'm going to do three explanations. Here's one. Up. Breathe in through your nose. Down. Breathe out through your mouth. One more. Alright, so now we're on to improper form. I'm going to show you 3 different improper ways to do it that I've seen in the gym. I've seen people do this before. I've seen people go like this, where they're lifting up from their side like this and then lifting like this and using their back. I've seen people go like this, where they're trying to do like a deadlift type position and then lift it, but don't even use their biceps. And then the other one that I've seen is where they actually don't squeeze enough and it just falls straight out of their hand like that. So I've seen that as well. What you want to do is get a solid grip on the bar, both sides. Make sure that they're as even as you can get them. Look forward, pull straight up, all the way to your chin, and then straight down. I'm going to do that 2 more times. And 1 more. Alright, now fast forward. Alright, good to go on that one. Now it's time for our muscle groups. Alright everyone, here we are to our muscle chart. And the muscle groups that are worked here are your biceps, the back of your wrist, your grip strength, and the front of your wrist, along with your frontal grip strength as well. Your fingers are also involved, of course, because you're holding the bar as well. And for this one, your frontal part / peak of the bicep is worked more than the back part of your bicep is. And for your back of your wrists, that's going to be worked more than the front of the wrist. And for your grip strength, I'd say it's about even for both sides of your hand. And that has been my explanation for the muscle groups. Let's go ahead and move on to our injuries. Alright, here's our first injury. The name of it is proximal bicep tendonitis at the shoulder. The location is up in this area, and it is going to be mostly affecting your joints in the front, although you probably will also be able to feel it in the back of your joints as well. And we'll also move on to the skeletal system. Even though it's not directly impacted, you might also feel some pain and discomfort in your skeletal system as well. Alright, so once again, just to let everybody know, this doesn't specifically make your skeletal system get hurt. It's just that you're going to feel the discomfort in these areas that I'm circling. And the recovery time is 4 to 6 months. That has been the first injury. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. Alright, here's our next injury. It is called bicep tendon tear in the shoulder. It is in the same area as the tendonitis, although that this is a tear, so it's going to be a lot worse than the tendonitis is. It's going to affect you in these areas, both in the front and back. And even though the skeletal system is not directly going to be hurt, you'll also feel discomfort in it. So we're going to go ahead and switch on over to that area, and I'll show you the discomfort areas. Alright, so we're on to our discomfort areas. They're pretty much in the same area as the tendonitis, but just remember, like I said, it's not directly going to hurt your skeletal system. You're just going to feel a lot of discomfort in these 2 areas. The recovery time for this is 6 to 10 months. That also depends on what your doctor says as well, so just remember that. And that was our second injury. Let's go ahead and move on to our last injury. Alright, we're on to our last injury here, you guys, and it is called distal bicep tendonitis tear at the elbow. And I'm going to show you exactly where that's going to occur. It's going to be right here in this area, around the bicep, a little bit around the wrists. It is also going to affect your back of your wrist a little bit further down this way, closer to the bottom of your hand a little bit. And then for the other side that it's also going to be affecting you is at the front of the wrist, right here. Also the same thing on the back. You'll be traveling some pain down there straight to the back of the hand. And although you don't have any actual injuries in your skeletal system, we're going to go ahead and switch over to the skeletal system just so I can show you the discomfort areas on that chart. Alright, here are the discomfort areas for this injury. That's going to be in the elbow, of course, and also you'll probably feel it down your arm bone, and probably even a little bit up your arm bone as well. It's not necessarily that you broke your arm or anything, it's just, well, you'll probably feel the discomfort. It's the same thing for this side, back of the elbow, down the arm a little bit, and up the arm just a little bit as well. And the recovery time is about 3 to 4 months for this, also depending upon what your doctor says. And always remember that for anything that you do improperly, you can tear, rip, or even break something. So just be careful with that. And that was the explanation for my injuries. Alright everyone, thank you so much for watching my how-to. Hopefully you liked it as much as I liked making it for you. Like, subscribe, have any other questions or anything else you'd like to add, comment below. And as always, grab life by the horns and unleash your inner bull.